So this is related to the Ascension, and we got into this journey by beautiful inspiration from our guides and from the creator of this universe and source. So this is the story that I'm going to tell you about how I started in this process and what I've been experiencing and sharing with many, and especially with my friend Chad and my wife Clomar. So Ascension boss, wow, this is a strange term, right? But you are going to understand in, just at the end of the presentation.
Around the bus.
Yes. Okay, so from the previous presentation, I understood you were not able to read, so I hope you can read now. Over there, can you read? Yes? Excellent. Okay, so who am I? I am Juan Carlos Garcia. It's my current name. Dots. I am Ul Mantur from Egypt. I know I am a priest in Egypt. Some other lives that I don't know, that I have some idea of who I am. And then I got information last year that I am also Mika, who is my main monad in this universe. So based on that and some revelations that I got around August 8th last year, I am very sure I am Mika also. Okay, so as Juan Carlos, I was born in Colombia, South America. Now I live in Miami, actually in different places between Colombia, Miami, Massachusetts, and in the past, I used to travel all around the world, so I got to know many different cultures and how many different cultures behave and how many different people in different cultures believe in what they want to believe. And at the end, most of them are believing in the same that we believe. Is one creator that is loving us and having compassion for us all the time. Are you okay?
I think so.
Okay. Okay, perfect. So this is my awakening path. And everything started in January 1st, 2000, at around 4:30 a.m. My body started feeling a very high temperature. I was heating up. And I started to hear a voice inside me. The voice was telling me, go to this place. And I was with another person, and I asked the other person, hey, are you feeling something strange here? And he said, yeah. Do you hear this voice? No, I don't hear a voice, but I'm feeling something strange. And I said, this voice is telling me to go to this place. And he said, okay, I'll drive you over there. 4:30 a.m., January 1st, 2000. So we went to his house. His mother gave us some soup because it was late and she didn't want any accidents. So we went to this place. It was dark, and they told me get to this mountain, and I didn't know how to meditate, anything. So the voice told me sit down, and I sat down, and a conversation started. And the only I remembered of this conversation that lasted hour and a half until the sunrise, the only I remember is, later you will be called to serve. Later you will be called to serve. And I said, wow, this is strange. And then the sunrise, and I saw 4 lights. And I said, oh, okay, these are many suns or something. I didn't pay attention to that. But during these years, 4 spheres on the sky, white spheres. And I said, okay, so this voice, heat, maybe I'm hallucinating. So the years pass. And in 2015, around March 2015, I had a very difficult life incident. it destroyed part of my life at that time. So it was very intense. And I ended my marriage at that time, my first marriage. It destroyed the life of my two kids because of what happened. It was very difficult. And, but then I started to heal. I suffered with this pain, and I got some help. And something that I didn't plan to do, but I did it. I went to Catholic school in Colombia with the Jesuits, but I didn't practice all my life. I just, at night, I remember going to sleep and praying, but I didn't go to church or service or anything. Just pray. And sometimes I remember I was praying and I fell asleep, and I woke up half an hour after. Oh, I didn't finalize my prayer. So I started again, and it was a loop. But then I decided, I said, oh, maybe I should go to talk to the priest. And I said, but what am I gonna do? I'm gonna say? And so I got the appointment with the priest, and in the same week I had 3 incidents, very positive incidents. And I asked, can I get the appointment? I got the appointment with the priest, only half an hour, and I said, okay. So I told him the story of what happened, hour and a half, and at the end he tells me, so after all that, what do you want me to do? The priest said to me, and I said, oh my God, I was not expecting this. And then I said, you know, yes, I know. I've been thinking on becoming a bad person, and never in my life I've been a bad person. So I don't want to be a bad person. And then he said, okay, so just pray to God for forgiveness. And I said, what? Are you crazy or what? And then he said, no, just pray, and he will take care of everything. So I didn't go to church. I just prayed in the night, and I said, ta, 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 ta. I did it for several months. Then my brother, who had been a Krishna priest for a monk for 14 years in India and Africa, 12 in India and 2 years in Africa, he came to me, and I said, yes, I need help. And then he said, okay, I have 2 therapists that can help you. First, we are going to do this one. It's like a regression, but it's not with hypnosis. It's just you going back to see where is the breaking point, and then you have to find out the breaking point. It's going to your inside. And I did it, but it took like 2 hours and a half in the phone. He was in Colombia, I was in Miami. And then I said, okay, what is the next therapy? I feel better. He said, no, we don't have time today. It's Ho'oponopono. You know Ho'oponopono? Yeah. Excellent. Yeah, yes. So I started researching about Ho'oponopono, and I became very good at Ho'oponopono. I did research for almost 3 months. I'm an industrial engineer, and I tried to get the details of everything. So I did 3 months of research about Ho'oponopono, and then I created my own intentions. I found out that most of the books that we find over there, only 10 to 15% is the real stuff. And the rest is something that adds up. So I found out that the key was to develop our own, it's not a generic intention, our own intention, and with our intention start practicing. And at some point I was taking the shower, and in Spanish is, lo siento, por favor, perdóname, gracias, te amo, lo siento, por favor, perdóname, gracias, te amo. I was driving the car, lo siento, por favor, perdóname, gracias, te amo. I was in the pool around in this, I was, at that time, I had an apartment with a friend in Brickell, Miami, at the pool, beautiful ladies all around. I recorded because I needed to take water continuously because I was getting, I didn't have saliva because too much saying, because I found out that it's important to say it out loud. It's important. So then I found out in another research that if you record yourself and you listen, it also helps. So I was in this pool, taking the sun, looking nice things with a smile like this, and listening to Everybody thought I was listening music or something. I was listening my Ho'oponopono. So at one time I count 4 hours doing Ho'oponopono. 4 hours. So I ended my healing process very quick. So I can say that I can give coaching about the 1, 2, 3 of how to heal and how to move in the ascension path. So in 2016, okay, the healing ended in February 12th, 2016. And I identified the healing ended because something came to my life that I saw in the past. When I started the forgiveness process, I saw something, and then that day came the person in front of me, and I said, wow, it's working, the Ho'oponopono. So then, around mid-year, June 8, 2016, the previous day this was a Tuesday, I was saying to myself, oh, I've been doing meditation for 6 months, 6 months straight at sunrise, every day at sunrise. But I don't see anything. And I was questioning myself, am I doing the right meditation? And then the next day a friend tells me, hey, I'm through my divorce and I had this situation, and he tells me, let's go tonight to this Course of Miracles. Do you know about Course of Miracles? Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay, almost 80%. Excellent, so we are on the same bus up to now, right? Yeah. So I said, no, don't take me to that. I don't want religions, or I don't want anything extreme like that. I've been doing my Ho'oponopono. Let me teach you how to do Ho'oponopono and you will be safe. And then I accepted his invitation. But first, he was very smart. First, he invited me to Barnes & Noble. And we went to Barnes & Noble. We saw several books, and at some point, he gave me a book as a present, a small book, from this lady that writes very nice about theosophy. Yeah, very small book. And then he comes to me, oh, by the way, this is the book about Course of Miracles. So he gave it to me, and I started reading, and I read only the first 3 pages about who wrote it or how they got it. And then I learned that it was channeled to a psychologist. I didn't know anything about channeling. So I said, okay, what's channeling? Oh, it was channeling to this lady who is a psychologist in the US. And I said, oh, if it's in the US, yes, I can believe in that. So we went that night to Course of Miracles. And this is something that you are not going to believe, like many things that happen after that. So I sit down in this activity. The lady who was the person guiding we were 12 and her, and she opens the book, sit down, and she says, okay, so tonight we are going to learn how to meditate with Holy Spirit. And I say, wow, okay, so we can meditate with Holy Spirit? And then she taught me how to meditate with Holy Spirit. And I'm going to teach you, if you don't, maybe you know, but I'm going to transfer this knowledge, and it's very simple. It's very quick. So you are already seated. She said, seated, try not to lay down because you easily fall asleep. So stay seated, your feet on the ground, and then just close your eyes, take 2 breaths, and to your lower abdominal area, lower stomach, or below the little hole here, what's the name? Navel, okay. Like the oranges?
Yes.
Okay.
The little belly button.
Yes, the belly button. Okay. So, and then she says, okay, now it's very important every time that you start a meditation to start the meditation with protection. And you can ask the help of Divine Mother and God to protect you. And also it's very important to invite Holy Spirit to be in the meditation with you. So I said, okay, perfect, I agree. And then and then she said, okay, so now call Holy Spirit to come to you, and you are going to imagine this ball of light coming to you and getting closer to you. Closer, closer. And then this beautiful sphere of light, white light, pure white light, is inside you. And yes, you are going to feel it. Stay in silence and listen all the beautiful noises that you find within, all the vibrations that you hear within. And then ask Spirit or Holy Spirit. Don't call it Divine Ghost. So, or Holy Ghost. So, ask Him to be with you during this meditation. And then meditate with Him for 12 minutes, the first 3 days. And after that, increase the time if you feel that you want to increase the time. Don't think on anything. Stay quiet. Don't put any music. Stay quiet. Find a quiet place. But always focus on that light inside you. And after the third meditation, you are going to feel that this light expands from within out and is going to cover you. It's a bubble. You are going to be within a bubble. So that's what she said. And at the end of the meditation, the first few days you are just going to be there. But later, you are going to experience beautiful things. Always surrender. Never try to control. Let it be. Let them guide you. We don't have the 12 minutes to continue today, but you can do it later, or we can have a session. We are going to have a session in which I will be teaching a mantra, one mantra that goes with this meditation. Okay? It's going to be tonight at 7 or tomorrow at 12 in our space right here to the right. Okay? The name of the space is Divine Quantum. Is the name of our company, and we work in collaboration with the Ascension boss. Okay, so I started doing this meditation, and then this is what you are not going to believe. So 3 days after that, June 10, I see the first results of this meditation. I'm meditating here, now I was at 20 minutes, and then I see the Sphinx. Did I pronounce right, the Sphinx? Okay, yes. So I had a good teacher over there in my friend chat. So I see this Sphinx, and then wow, I'm with my eyes closed, feeling the noise around, but wow, I'm seeing something. Sphinx, then a pyramid, and wow, it looks like Egypt. And then I see to the right of the pyramid, I see a white, like something round moving, and I said, well, that looks like a vortex. And then I look to the left, and to the left of the tip of the pyramid, I see an eye, and the eye is talking to me. The eye is talking to me, and is saying, Eye of Osiris. Eye of Osiris is what he said, and I remember perfectly. And I remember also my brother, that the Krishna, who said, you are in this path now, you are starting this process, so every time that something comes to your mind, write it down and draw everything. Draw is the right word? Draw it. And then I did it. And that's my first drawing of my first experience. And I didn't do anything because I was kind of, wow, this is something crazy. So the next day, I didn't do anything. The second day, I was at the pool, and I had my iPad next to me, and I said, oh, so I'm gonna do a research. And I wrote down in Google, Eye of Osiris. And the first hyperlink, I click on it, and I read the complete story of Isis, Osiris, and Horus. And I read it twice, and I closed it, and I said, wow, 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 this is very interesting. So I opened it again, and then I went to the end because I wanted to know who wrote that. And then I read, wrote by the order of Melchizedek. And I didn't know who Melchizedek was, and then I started to do a lot of research. That was my first experience. The second one, that was June. In July, I went to this parapsychologist, and a young lady that I know, she was having bad dreams. She used to go astral traveling and having a lot of experiences, and it looks like she got a demon attached to her. And we bring this young lady to this person, and he says, okay, her etherical body, the chakras, oh, she has an attachment, so we need to do an exorcism. And then he said, we need to do it soon, because he communicates with angels. And her angel told him that she had something attached to her. Who believes in angels? Wow, that's 90%. We are still in the Ascension bus. Okay, so we were seated over there, the mother of this young lady, and the young lady had a trip planned to the Florida Keys. And then they didn't want to do the exorcism, but I was just a person that brought them over there. I had nothing to say. It was their decision. And at some point, I start feeling energy coming from my feet, electrical energy. It was like when you are a young child, you are a children, and you put your finger in the outlets, something like that. Ah! And then it came, and a voice came out of me saying, you need to do it now. It was not like that. It was beautiful than this. But it was like an order. You need to do it now. And then the guy and the mother look at me, and then I said, oh, what happened here? And then I walk out, and I let them take the decision, and I was out. What happened? Okay, so they decided to do it the following day, and they asked me to help in this exorcism. And he taught us some mantras to do it. He's doing exorcisms for 10 years, and he got authorization from orders and angels and all that. So we are in this location with the exorcism, and I was standing here, and then I see the fire coming like crazy around her. And then at some point, while I'm doing one of the mantras, I see a huge angel come to my right here, like 8 feet, 9 feet tall, strong, with a sword. It was gray color. I didn't see any colors. It was just gray, but it was like that. If something was coming to me, it was ready to do something. And then, after that, I found out it was Michael, Archangel Michael. And then I start communicating with him through the pendulum. Okay, so that's what I call guardian guide testing and activating codes. So they started this process of testing myself through several actions So we need to take action. To be in the ascension path is not just meditate and be nice, like on your own. You say in our thoughts or on our thoughts? In our thoughts. Okay. No, we need to take action, and action bring us merit, and merit bring us downloads, and the downloads, we get the downloads and we can get the activation. So the process is actions, good thoughts, actions, merit, downloads, and activations. Activations. It's not just they say, oh, we are getting this download and we are all going to ascend. Yes, we are going to some place, but we need to work for that. Okay, so you have a question?
No, I was just saying, I'm sorry, I was just talking. We're amping it up gradually.
Yes.
Amping up gradually, calibrating our human selves. Into
Yes.
our souls. It's
Exactly.
repeat.
She is saying that we are
Amping it up gradually.
amping it up
gradually.
gradually
From this state to the other state. It's
to this state to the other state.
And if you're not ready for it, you'll not be given it.
Exactly. And if you are not ready for it, you are not getting all that is available. Yeah, you have to be patient and work a little. Okay, so then on August 2016, I was in meditation and I got to this mountain, and in the mountain I see a being over there, white robe with bird and mustache, and then I say, oh, hey, hi. And then he tells me, hey, go over there to that hill. And I say, what? And then another being comes to me, and I say, okay, I'm going to the hill. And then he says, look down. And it was very deep. And he says, jump. And I say, okay, if this is a meditation, I'm going to jump. I'm not going to lose anything. I'm doing it, yeah. If I'm here is to experience, and I didn't thought that twice. So I jump, and I was going down, and while I'm going down, he tells me from up there, everything that you grab is yours. So I get some plants, some coins or something, and then I was looking down the end. I was saying, oh my God, I'm gonna crash over there and lose the opportunity to talk to him. And then my speed slows down, and I just was able to grab soil and go up. And then I go up, stand up at the top of the hill, and he says, come to me. And then I walk over there to where he was, and then he starts teaching me. So I passed, later I understood that I passed that test, that I believe, that I had faith, that I entered the meditation with protection, and I had faith that nothing was going to happen to me. So he gave me 4 teachings. The first teaching was how to cover my body with light. And I can share all this also. We can, if you like this process, we can set up some time for Monday morning or tomorrow and do it as a group. So cover my body with light. Then he told me how to build my Merkaba. Very simple. Very simple. It's like one sphere of light moving in this direction, and the other sphere of light separated by maybe 3 or 6 inches going in this direction. Stay there, and you are inside, and then just surrender. The key is surrender. We don't need to control. We are just, this incarnation, this life is just 0.0001% of what we are. So do we want to fight? Do we want to control? Do we want to try to maintain the power of this? No. the best is to connect with them. They want to help us. So, okay. So later he tells me how to, with my light body, how to use my hands for healing. And I have practiced that several times. I became, at some point, empathic. I was feeling the pain of the others next to me, and I just did some exercises, and the pain went away for a few people that I practiced with. And he told me another thing that I haven't practiced, because I've been having so much fun with the others. This one, he told me to also use my hands, to place my hands on top of books. Yes. And he didn't say for what, but I imagine that it was to get the knowledge of the books, the energy of the books. So I have bought maybe 15 books. I've read only the first 20 pages or 5, but I've been getting a lot of knowledge. And for example, my friends, especially my friend Shad, says, oh, you know this book? And I say, oh yeah, I think it's about this. And usually I'm right. Okay, so those were the 4 teachings. Then the same month, between August and October, more guides came to the equation. And I call it the equation because I've seen the equations. All this is an equation. And we decide if we want to complicate the equation or maintain the equation simple. As we advance, we can, in mathematics, you always try to simplify the equations and come to a simple, very simple equation. So when we detect the problem, we create the equation, and we can have a very long equation or a short one. Remember Einstein, he used maybe 3 letters or 4 letters, and that's the equation. But it was complicated. Okay, so then I got more guides showing up and activations, and I had always beautiful experiences. So this is another key. Whenever we have experiences, it's important to appreciate that, to express our gratitude. Even though we have some pain, it's always for the best. It's always for the best of us. Okay. So now I'm moving to the next one. So I start on July 2016. I start getting something very strange. And it's like I start feeling needles in my body. Like ants. Sometimes it was like ants walking all over my body, or needles with energy. But it was beautiful. And I call it cosmic spray. And it happened like 4 times. And this is my other tip for you. When you are feeling that something is coming to you, an energy that you are doing something, try to stop. If it's not very important what you're doing, try to stop and feel it. Enjoy it. And you will feel beautiful. You will feel the love and compassion. Okay, so also in July that year, I got an upgrade of vibration, a vibrational frequency from Michael and Metatron. On 11/2017, Divine Mother showed up, and it was because the upgrade that Metatron did, she showed up. But all this was for little merits. It's not complicated. I remember one day I was walking Brickell Avenue, close to Brickell, and the canal was right there. I was walking, and I saw a guy overlooking the canal like this. I came back and I said, excuse me, is something happening to you? I said, yeah, I'm very sad. And I look at him like that, and I said, okay, come back, let's talk. And he said, oh, I'm desperate. I have a very difficult situation, and I haven't slept for 2 days. My family doesn't want me with me in the house because I lost my job and I'm not bringing money to the house, so they don't want me over there. And I have 2 sons. I haven't slept, I haven't ate, and I listened to him. And I just opened my wallet and I said, I'm going to give what I have. And I had only one bill, 100 bill. I opened it and I said it, I'm going to give it. So I gave it to him and he said, no, let's go and change it. I cannot accept this. And I said, no, we don't need to. With this, we are gonna get a hotel close to downtown. You don't need to pay a taxi, just walk and get some food and take it easy, relax. And tomorrow will be a new day. So I told him about this mantra that I know and we did it together. And I said, I'm only giving you this if you take action. So he did it with me. And then I asked him, so why you were looking like this, the canal? And he said, because I was going to kill myself. And then I said, but there is no reason to do it for losing your job or your family because you don't have a job. So he said, yeah, you're right. Give me your phone number and I will return the money to you tomorrow. And I said, no, you don't need to. And then I walked away and then he walked to the other side and it was a beautiful but simple action that I took of compassion and maybe love. I didn't know what he was going to do. And that was part of some of those tests that happened over there. So after this vibrational uplift on 11 November 2017, I was in my Merkaba. I just relax, I go up, I go out of earth and I stay there and I just ask my guides, okay, I'm here, show me what you know that I need to know or take me to wherever you know that I need to be. Surrender. The meaning of that is surrender. And then Joshua, who told me, who was the one next to me several times, then I started moving and I saw concentric circles of black, gray, and the center with blue, a little light, and then we focus into the light, and then we got to the light and more concentric circles. It was like 40 minutes of going through all this. And at some point I said, and this is another tip, if you are experiencing something like that, don't give up. At the end, it's going to be something beautiful. And it happened to me. So one day I was for 3 hours going, and the experience was only 40 minutes. It's later in the presentation. Okay, so I got to this place. It was, I saw the planet orange, and I see orange. Oh, okay, so this looks like, what's the planet that is orange color? Mars. Oh, maybe we are getting into Mars. And then we got in, and the orange color changed to blue in the inside, and I say, wow, beautiful blue. And then we landed on beautiful grass, on hills, and I only saw hills around with green grass. And I said, okay, the Merkaba cleared itself, and he started walking in front of me. I was not saying anything because I said, oh, if I say something, everything is going to disappear. So I was quiet, just walking behind him. And then we get to this glass. It was like a half sphere glass. And then there is something here. It's not all hills. There is something behind the glass. And then he gets to this side, he knocks, and some two beings open the door, and they start telepathic communication, and they allow us in. And I see the beings over there. They are with robes, like green, blue color, and I saw they were not touching the ground. They were levitating. They let us in. We walked through the town. I saw the beautiful buildings, like cones, gold color, but it's not the shiny gold. It's just gold color. We walked to this, the main building in the center, and we saw all the other beings levitating around us, walking around us, and we were on our feet. That's what I remember. And then we got to the middle of this building, and there was a round table, like quartz, with light, emitting light, but very low lumens light. And I saw maybe 24 beings around the table. And then we were in the back, standing up, and then one of the beings stands up and walks next to Joshua. And then they start in communication, and I say, oh, I'm not gonna say, okay, so where am I? Yes. And they say, Arturus. Ah, we are in Arturus, okay. And what's your name? Ta. And I say, what? Pata? No, ta. Ta. And after like 3-4 times, he knew that I was not going to pronounce his name, and then he showed in a screen here the letters P-T-A-H. P-T-A-H. And they, oh, okay, so pata. No, okay, so again, but yeah, I get many people that tell me, say, I read pita, pata, okay. So that was the first experience in Arturus. But there were 3, but I'm not going through all the 3. I'm just moving quickly. So in December, then again with the Merkaba, we ended in this. The trip was not very long, and we ended in this spaceship. And then I got into a room, I put some clothes, and we walked, and it was like the deck, the main deck. And I saw down there the same hologram with the same people, the hologram of the Arturus people over there, the table and all of them. And the being from down there, he looked at us and he waved his hand to us that we were in the second level. And then another being approached us with uniform, very, very strong. And then I just listened to them and to all the people that were behind us, all the beings. Many were not human look, okay? But I didn't care of that. I was not afraid of anything of that. It was like I already knew that there are many other beings in the universe, different than us. So the other being identified himself as Ashtar Sharan. And I said, oh, this is your spaceship? And he said, no, this is not my spaceship. This is their spaceship. It's the Arturians. And the name of the spaceship is Athena, like the goddess in Greece. And I said, okay, so what am I doing here? And they said, you are starting your training. And I said, training to what? They said, training to remember. So I said, okay, so where is it going to be? And they said, well, okay, sometimes you will come here, sometimes it will be on Earth, and sometimes in other places. Okay? And I said, okay, perfect, thank you, thank you, thank you. I express my gratitude. Sometimes I cry because the emotion is huge. And when I'm doing a Merkaba, I'm standing up. And I feel everything around. I feel the cars on the street, but I also, I'm living that experience. It's a lucid experience. Okay, so then I'm moving very quick to last year, 8/8/2018. I was in my Merkaba, and then this cylinder of light comes to me and takes me. And I remember seeing myself inside this cylinder, traveling super quick, quicker than with the Merkaba. And then I get into a room, and I was like groggy or dizzy. It took me like a few minutes to get better. Then I put some clothes on and I go out, and a few were waiting for me, and then we walk into a room, beautiful room, crystal room, and I say, where am I? And they said, you are at the headquarters of the Galactic Confederation here on the solar system. And it is in Saturn. So they took me to Saturn, and we were in a meeting over there. And it was beautiful. I can give more details later, but the important message over there is that they said, now this meeting is for all of us to, because now is the time to start co-creating together. And I saw 12 humans in the back talking to Buddha. He had his own space, and they were next to Buddha talking to him. I was with some others here, and I recognized galactic beings, beings from the White Brotherhood, and then the humans. And they told me this is a tri-alliance meeting, and we together are going to start the process of co-creation. Okay? And that's another important space. Now we are getting to Ascension boss, very close. How much time do I have? 5 minutes?
Until 5.
Oh, until 5. And what time is right now?
4:53.
Okay, I have 7 minutes. Okay, thank you. So then on December 2018, I started getting actually it was, I had a very beautiful meditation in this sacred mountain November 11, 2018 for the 11-11-11. And I finalized this meditation next to a river, and I learned from my trip to Egypt to always ask permission when we are entering a sacred space. And I did it in this river because I found a sacred space that for me was not made by the Indians over there, because it had beautiful cuts on the rock, huge rocks and circles, perfect circles, and yeah. So I said, this is sacred space, and then I asked permission. After the meditation, I exit the sacred space. I went back to say thanks. It was the sunset. And then I take my phone and I take pictures. Several pictures. Ta, 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 ta. And then I get to my room in this place. The following day, I see in the picture light beams that show in my picture. Beautiful. I can show it to you at any time if you want to. So that was 11-11. And on 11-18, November 18, I start the month of November, I start experiencing in front of my apartment over there the opening of stargates on top of a mountain, maybe 15 miles away. But I was living on the 14th floor, and always at the same time during the week, between 7 and 9 p.m., at the same time, the electromagnetic storm in the same place. Ta, ta. And I said, no, if it's weather, it's all over. And then I start taking pictures and videos. And I got some pictures in which the sky is cut in half light, half dark. I got some pictures in which we see the spaceships coming in, and then I start asking, and they start responding to me that it was our star friends, brothers and sisters that were coming to meet for meetings. But it happened during 6 weeks, and each one of the 6 weeks for 3-4 days, and I took pictures all that time. And 7 civilizations came through that stargate. I was able to identify Pleiadians, Sirians, Arcturians, Orion, from Aldebaran del Toro, from Andromedans and Lyrans, 7. And the second one that got over there, I said, okay, I need to see. So please show me how they look. And they showed me the ones from Aldebaran. It was a couple, the commander and her wife maybe, or the second on board. And they had blue skin, human uh, anatomy, blue skin with some tattoos. But they don't have fingerprints. It was like their fingerprint was tattoos in their body. Okay, so that's part of that experience. So now, December, Divine Mother upgrades again, and then they tell me in a meeting that my training to remember ended. That was around December 28th. And January 2nd, everything started to change. January 2nd this year. And Ascension bus journey started. So in the Ascension bus is this process. We have been called, is the continuation of Divine Plan, in which many of us need to take actions. And we got this view of a bus, and I was sitting on the bus, and I saw another being driving the bus, and I said, "Hey, you driver, are you my friend Chad?" And the driver said, "No, I am Source. I am driving the bus. And many of you will come aboard because we are doing the continuation of the plan. We are going to start teaching people how they can move faster and more efficiently in the ascension process by uplifting their vibrational frequency and taking good actions, becoming better humans. The idea is to always have respect, honesty, community, respect, honesty, and you said the other word, the beautiful word yesterday, the other one. Integrity. Integrity, community sense, and sharing. Sharing the abundance that God gave us in this creation is for all of us. It's not just for few. It's for all of us. The creations of the humans are not the creations of few humans because they are God. So it's for all of us. Okay? So that's the idea to increase to our values. And that's the idea of the evolution of the human race. The divine plan is the evolution of the human race. And that's what has been happening since hundreds of thousands of years in several evolutions that we have had. And if life on Earth ends because something happens, because Nibiru or because the sun, we have more value inside. We have our souls. So we just need to live this now with intensity, with values, respecting everybody, being honest, and being happy. Okay, so we went to Montauk. We got this information. I got the word in a vision. I got the word Montauk, and I asked my friend Chad, do you know something about Montauk? And he says it's not Montauk, it's Montauk. And then he said, you don't know Montauk? And I said, no, what is it? And then he said, oh, it's a place that was used for the negatives and doing that, experiments and all that. And then the following day I get information, then my guides telling me that we need to go over there to do some work, like Mary has been called in the past to do some work. And they said, you just need to go over there. And I said, okay, but who am I going with? And he said, Source said they will come. And whoever come to go over there is because they need to be there. The others that are invited, if they don't go, is because they are not ready to go over there. So Chad said at the beginning, oh no, I cannot go because I have some customers, some patients at the end of the week, and I cannot do it. So Monday, they canceled his event. They canceled it. And then he calls me Tuesday morning. Hey, my event got canceled. Let's go to Montauk. And in 4 hours, we coordinated the trip. I used my miles to go over there. And we were driving. We were taking pictures of everything. Then we saw faces on the sky. We have the pictures of the faces on the sky. We got human or humanoid faces, beautiful clouds, and also chemtrails trying to avoid all this. But we got there, and we said, now what? Now what? They haven't told us anything. During the trip, I was channeling, telling him what they were telling me, and we were asking, okay, what we have to do, and they said, no, we are not going to tell you. We are not going to tell you. We said, why? They didn't tell us why. So 9:30 p.m. we were at the hotel like this. Okay, so we traveled from Miami. 9:30 in the morning in the meditation, I saw the boss. I saw a triangle, a symbol, and I saw the number in a cell phone, 11:59. And I understood they wanted to something today at 11:59, that the 20th, March 20th. And then 9:30 p.m. I get this strong energy that makes me lay down. And then I start getting all the detail of what we have to do. Go over there, do these exercises that you learned 3 years ago when Yeshua taught you this, energy exercises with your hands, and you do this meditation. You are going to bring light to the heart chakra. And I said, what? The heart chakra is not here. I'm sorry. You are not the ones. And they said to me, you know that the magnetic center of the earth changes. So the heart chakra also changes, and right now is over there. And then you need to go over there, inject light, and the light, you are going to call this operation to the heart. And we said, what? Operation to the heart? Yes, because the heart is the one that sends the blood all over through the veins, and yeah. So if the heart chakra is over there, it's because the energy lines are connected all over. And they didn't tell me why we were going to do that. They just left the information there. So we went over there, we did the exercise, we took pictures when we got there. And in the pictures when we got there, we see these energies flying all over, like crazy. It's not spheres, it's not orbs, it's just energies all over. And then we continue, we find a place, nice place. We see it was very cold, so we start the meditation, 11:55, and then we ended at 10:05. And we took some pictures around and we went back. And the next morning they tell me, okay, we were not able to tell you this because all the information that we provide to you goes to the, what's the name of this? The information they provide us goes to the, I forgot the name. No, it's here on Earth, the grid, the consciousness grid. And the negatives have access to the consciousness grid. So if we gave you the information, they knew our plan. So we were not going to give you that. They gave it to me 8 hours, or no, it was a little more, 10 hours after that happened. And they said, okay, what we did with your cooperation as part of the Tri-Alliance, because there are many in the Tri-Alliance, and usually are the ones that participate in these events. And they said, what we were doing with you is that we were injecting light to the grid energy system, to the heart chakra, to make the negative entities and negative energies, negative beings, move from there because they don't like the light. So they needed to go away from those places, from those portals all over the world, and get out on top of Earth, from the ground up. And the next two levels of the alliance, there are three levels in the alliance: the humans, the galactic, and the white brotherhood with the archangels and angels. They could go after these energies and negative beings. Do you understand now? It was a beautiful plan. And we all help with this because we are continuously injecting light. So there are many types of light workers. Some just anchor the light. Some others are communicators. Some others are warriors, and they are in fights in astral. And I've seen the bruises of many people that when they wake up they have. And so we said, wow, thank you for allowing us to be in this process. So that's the Montag. Then we have another story related to the observer, delivering information, and something that happened this year. I'm moving quick to something that happened this year in June. Actually, in April 20th, April 23rd, 2019. So this the Montag experience was in March. So in April, I was invited to this meeting, and this is when it took me 3 hours to get there, to uplift my vibration. It was very intense, and at the end of the 2 hours, I said, oh no, I'm gonna give up. This is very intense. But I said, no, 2 hours, maybe I'm just 10 minutes. So I continue, and it was 3 hours. So my friends tell me, how can you invest so much time in this uplifting your vibration? And I understand it's because it's needed. So we got to this place, and it was a meeting of the Council of the Universes. And in this meeting, I was invited over there because I was taking information from Earth. So I was taking real information. I didn't understood this until later, because there are systems in place in which there are three structures in this universe to move the information up. One is the genetics, the other is about the social, cultural, and economic development, and the other one is about the technology. So these chunks of information go up to source. It's about the evolution of these layers in 3D, 4D, 5D, 6D. But the negatives from other universes, they hack the system. So that's the problem we have with the metrics. So the original design of the metric is a beautiful design for the ascension, for the evolution of the human race. But it was taking longer. It was taking longer than expected. So they needed to take action. All these people or beings in the Tri-Alliance. Yes. I finish. Thank you very much. Thank you.